Hello, class. My name is Shakenda Dickens, and I'm here to talk about the number 2 discussion topic, which is speaking in public. I relate better to student number 1 because they were very thorough about why they wanted to learn to speak in public. They wanted to be in the spotlight, and they gave detail. And it was so much excitement. I want the class. They said they wanted the class to be dazzled with their discussion, and they wanted to be heard, but they were excited. I don't relate to student number 2 because it was just like they were afraid to do it, and they didn't want to do it. But the most thing about number 2 is they were afraid to do it. Now me, I'm not afraid to do anything. But there are some things that I just will not do because it doesn't make sense. I will try something if I think that there's an opportunity there, like a good opportunity. I relate with student number 1, although me personally, I do not want to be the center of attention. But if there's something that I need to say, I would like to grasp everyone's attention. I want them to know that what I'm saying is important. I want their undivided attention, and I want them to take home something from what from the subject that I'm speaking of. I want them to know, understand what I'm talking about. So that's why I relate more with number 1 versus number 2, because I'm not afraid to do it. I'm not afraid to learn more about it. I am excited about the class. At first, I wasn't. But when I thought about what it could do for me and how it could help me become a better leader, it's something that I want to do because I want to do better for myself, to help others do better for themselves, to do better for others. So, that's why I relate to student number 1 more. Now, to reflect on a time where I had anxiety speaking, I still get it now when I'm having these video discussions, but I think the video discussions are better for the online classes is because if we were in person in class, we would still have to present ourselves personally. So I think the video relates to a personal experience for substitution of being in the classroom. So I think every class we should have a discussion. That would require a discussion. We should be doing these videos. I think it's great. Versus the typing, because we're not perceiving or seeing, visually who each other are and the viewpoints and all that stuff, because everybody learns differently, auditorially, hands-on, or visual. There's different types of learning levels, and people perceive it differently. So I think we should take that in consideration. I do like the discussions. So I do have anxiety when I do some of these videos. I'll probably do a video 5 times, maybe 10 before I actually submit it, because I'll catch myself doing mistakes, or I'll say something wrong, or I'll stumble across my words. And I've noticed myself, the videos decreasing, the amount of redos decreasing versus when I first started class, for the first class for I think it was the foundations for college. But anyways, I had anxiety not just doing these videos, but also doing speeches for Easter at church, because for work, for team meetings and stuff, if I was assistant manager for Rack Room Shoes once upon a time, and also Murphy's USA. It was just a few of us, so it wasn't really much public speaking. May had to get on the intercom and help somebody out with their gas, or teach them how to pump or something like that, but it wasn't really public speaking, where I had to give a speech. The most was at Easter for church, and like at Rec Room Shoes, because we actually had like a team of probably 10 people, and as assistant manager we would like all have to say some words of encouragement and topics of discussion for whatever the nature may be, for that sales month or quarterly or whatever. So I did have anxiety. Actually, I was surprised that I got the assistant manager position, because it wasn't something that I had planned on. Like, I didn't anticipate on becoming a manager when I was just a sales associate. So that encouraged me to believe in myself, to know that, I'm a good teacher, that I can help others, and, be polite and respectful in doing so. Because other people may follow you and you don't even know they're right behind you, or they're looking at how you dress, or looking at how you speak, or looking at how you carry yourself, or, looking at how you cook, looking at how the way you do things. And I noticed that, it's like babies, when I was babysitting, I would notice kids repeating what I say, or, showing emotion, speaking with their words and stuff like that. So, and then at work, people would understand there's a structure or an order of doing things, like, sequential order, shifting shoes, stocking. It's a way, and it's a reason why you do it a certain way. So, I noticed that people were paying attention. People were like, oh, well, she thinks she's always right, but she's not, because I'm not always right. But I want to think about what I'm doing so that I can be right, because I don't want to lead anyone else down the wrong path and errors. And I want, less errors, more resolutions, because errors take more time and to fix, and more time out of your day to do whatever extracurricular activity you may choose to do, and it's less stress, stress preventative. And to live a happy life and to be a happy person, you don't want to stress. So yeah, that's why I think, public speaking is good, because it's a form of teaching. Actually, now that I think about it, it is a form of teaching, because you're informing the public of whatever the subject may be, whether they know or don't know. They just have to be interested. So, another anxiety was, like I said, like churches for Easter. A whole lot of people, probably 150 people. Oh my gosh. Just in there in the pews, and then you got people standing up in the background, in the back of the church, and it was just so scary, because it's like all these people. What if I make a mistake? What if I fall? What if I stumble? What if I can't speak like the words? So I didn't want to look up. I wanted to look down, but we had to memorize it without the paper. So, and this was a very, very long time ago. So, it was scary, because I'm like, what if I do something wrong? How are these people going to react to me? Oh, I'm going to be a bad person, or, I suck and stuff like that. So, I remember like, my peers in church, people over the program, the directors, musicians and stuff, the parents over our age groups, they'd be like, hold your head up. You got it. And it was always a motivational or encouraging word. And even with those words, when you get up there, it's completely different, because you don't see just them, you see everybody. So, yes, high level of anxiety. I remember, like, I start shaking. I may start breathing hard, And I think one time, like, I just put my hand on my head and was like, and the audience laughed, and then it kind of like, I guess, opened up a wound, because I felt hurt. So it opened that, like, it kind of healed that wound and opened it up, and it was just like, oh, okay, it made me a little more relaxed. So then I finished it out. But there is a lot of anxiety, and I want to get rid of that, like that nervousness I was talking about in the first discussion about active listening, or no, in the introduction, where we were talking about ourselves and what do we want to learn from the class. So yes, I have had some anxiety, and you probably see I'm having it now. So with that being said, for the topic of 2, public speaking, I think number 1 was on point, and it is a great opportunity to want to learn, to want to know, even if you're afraid, or even if you don't think you can do it. Because I think you conquer being afraid by acknowledging what you want to do. And if it's what you want to do is be able to speak clearly, publicly, then you can't be afraid to do it. The fact that you showed up to class and signed up for it, that just makes a stepping stone to getting to where, like, to conquering your fears. So, and that's just what life is all about. We live, we conquer, we grow, we learn. So, well, to me. So I relate to person number 1, and those are the reasons why. So thanks for listening, and y'all have a blessed day.